Anti-Imperialist Front TV with news from the world. As it is in many countries, also the Philippine government has raised its repression and attacks on the opposition, on the peoples, with different martial laws, and now with a new anti-terrorism law. On July 3, the anti-terrorism law was signed by President Rodrigo Duterte, despite sustained clamor from the public and lawmakers and from the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. The law removes the check and balance between the court and the government. Oppositional groups call the law a violation of the right to due process and freedom of expression, which suppresses vigilance against government, neglect and abuse. The anti-terrorism law legalizes warrantless arrests of suspected individuals, illegal detention for up to 24 days and even without charges, surveillance, wiretapping among others. The new anti-terrorism law could have horrific impact on basic civil liberties, due process and the rule of law amidst the Philippines' shrinking democratic space. It won't curb terrorism, it will empower the government to attack opponents as terrorists. Progressive groups and lawyers held protests and teach about anti-terrorism law earlier. A few days ago, according to them, anti-terrorism law is unconstitutional and will trample constitutional guaranteed rights. Recently, there is a campaign in Europe in different places to fight this law, and organizations are called for support to fight together this anti-terrorism law, which is a big attack to the whole progressive left communist movement in the Philippines. And we come to another point. The FARC, the Colombia's Alternative Revolutionary Force of the Common, FARC, the political party, which was founded after the peace negotiations in Havana, Monday denounced the murder of another 2 former combatants. Almost every day there is a murder in addition to the 15 forced disappearances. We denounce the extermination plan against our party and we raise our voice of anger and impotence against the state for not stopping these events, FARC tweeted. One of the victims was Fred Fajardo Avila, who was murdered in Uribes municipality in the El Meta department. He was complying with his reincorporation process after his demobilization. FARC stresses that President Ivan Duque allows this casualty under cohort silence and qualifies the killings as extrajudicial executions. On Monday, the former guerrillas also denounced the assassination of José Antonio Rivera in Los Lagos, the Pitalito neighborhood in the Huila department. Unidentified men shot Rivera to death in his workshop. The 53 years old was a peace agreement signer. According to the FARC, 218 former combatants have been murdered since peace agreement signing 2016. We didn't sign an agreement to get killed, FARC concluded. While we read this situation in Colombia, after the peace agreements, we can see clearly again that the peace with such governments cannot bring real peace, since it is only one-sided. In Turkey, the death-fast resistance of people's lawyers Ebru Timtik and Aytaç Ünsal continue, as well as of 2 political prisoners, Özge Karakaya and Didem Akman. For this reason, all over Europe and internationally, solidarity action and protests are being continued and their voices are raised around Europe. In Greece, a panel was held as well to explain about the death-fast resistance. In Athens, at the capital of Greece, a panel was held in solidarity, and approximately 1,000 posters were put on many parts of Athens, especially on the 1st of May Square, where the panel was held, and progressive revolutionary anarchist groups, institutions were invited and visited to join the panel. The amphitheater in the square was set up and banners were put there with the pictures of the death-fast resistors. Magazines, books, keychains and t-shirts were put on a table. As well, there was put an exhibition of paintings to the square next to the theater. The latest songs of Group Yorum were played from the sound system. The panel began at 8 p.m. and in the speeches of the moderation, general information was given about the recent situation in Turkey. The death-fast resistance was explained, as well as the resistance of public workers Nuriye and Semih, who started with daily actions and sit-ins on the Yüksel Street against the dismissal of over 140,000 public workers in Turkey following to the coup attempt in 2016. Another speaker was Günayda, a people's lawyer as well, who explained the increasing pressures, especially after the coup attempt, along with the process of why lawyers and free prisoners are on the death fast. The Greek lawyers Patrikos Kounakos and Thanasis Kabayanis also told that they went to meetings in Turkey for several times and knew the situation of the country. They said, "Our colleagues, our lawyers in Turkey, taught us how to resist, and they called for this resistance to grow into ownership." After the speeches, a video about the lawyers and about the resistance was watched. Finally, a 5-song concert was performed by the Freedom of Group Yorum for Group Yorum Committee in Greece. Solidarity actions are continuing as well in Austria by the Solidarity Committee and Freedom Initiative for People's Lawyers and Political Prisoners. Each Tuesday from 6 to 7 on the Mariahilfer Street in the city center, action is held with banners and posters, and leaflets are distributed to announce and to raise voice for this death fast resistance. Another meeting will be as well on the 18th of July, the coming Saturday, on the Stephansplatz in the city center, where also the situation will be explained and also marked that the death fast resistance has come to a very critical stage. Finally, we want to read a news article in the daily newspaper Cumhuriyet, which was translated into English. The lawyer Aytaç Ünsal, member of the Contemporary Lawyers Association (CHD), who has been fasting for 162 days with a request of fair trial, explained his latest situation to our newspaper with a cartoon because he could not take a photo on the grounds of corona. Ünsal's wife, lawyer Didem Baydar Ünsal, said, "Our file was taken to the Court of Cassation on 1st of June, and it was expected to decide within 2-3 weeks. The unfair punishments should be abolished before the July 20 judicial holiday, with the decision to be released." 18 lawyers from GHD, including GHD chairman Selçuk Kozağaçlı, received a total of 159 years in prison for membership in an organization, citing secret witnesses' statements. The arrested lawyer Ebru Timtik, who started the death fast by stating that they were not fairly prosecuted in this case, had been in action for 193 and Aytaç Ünsal for 162 days. Didem Baydar Ünsal, who spoke with Ünsal at the prison yesterday, stated that he had cartooned himself after the prison authorities did not allow them to take picture on the grounds of the epidemic. Didem Baydar Ünsal said the following about her husband's situation. "Photographing is not allowed, but sometimes, unmasked, very crowded guards are searching in the cell. Aytaç's muscles and cells die day by day for justice, but no one can see him. In the past, we had 30 kilos between Aytaç, but now we have 7 kilos. I am 51 kilos, 52 kilos with a height of 160. Aytaç is 185 in height and 59 kilos. He has drawn himself as caricature in prison to reflect his latest situation. Judicial holidays begin on July 20. Our file had been examined in the Supreme Court on 1st June, and it was expected to be decided within 2-3 weeks. And after 40 days, no decision were made. We did not receive any positive or negative signal from the authorities. Nearly 23 Bar Association chiefs will send a petition to the Supreme Court today with an emergency release request. We expect these unfair punishments to be dismissed by breaking the decision before the judicial holiday." This was the Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.